The Star by H.G. Wells. Once upon a time, on the first day of the new year, a wonderful announcement was made almost simultaneously from 3 great observatories around the world. They declared that the motion of the planet Neptune, the furthest planet from the Sun, had become very strange and erratic. Ogilvy, a wise astronomer, had already noticed something odd about Neptune in December. Although most people didn't know much about Neptune, scientists were intrigued. Soon, they discovered a faint, distant speck of light near Neptune. At first, this didn't cause much excitement outside the scientific community. But as days passed, the new body grew larger and brighter. Its motion was quite different from the orderly progress of the planets, and Neptune was being affected in an unprecedented way. Few people without a training in science can realize the vast emptiness of space. Beyond Neptune lies a great void without warmth or light for 20 million times a million miles. Until early in the 20th century, no matter had ever crossed this gulf of space until this strange visitor appeared. It was a vast mass, bulky and heavy, rushing from the black sky into the radiance of the sun. By the second day, it was visible with a good telescope as a tiny speck in the constellation Leo near the bright star Regulus. On the third day of the new year, the newspapers around the world reported the importance of this new star. A planetary collision, one headline read, proclaiming that the new planet might collide with Neptune. As the night followed the sunset, people around the world looked up to see the familiar stars and, to their surprise, a new bright star in the west. It was brighter than any star they had ever seen, even brighter than the evening star. This great white star shone brightly, causing fear and wonder among those who saw it. People whispered about wars and pestilences foreshadowed by fiery signs in the heavens. In observatories, scientists watched in amazement as the 2 remote bodies rushed together. A new planet from outer space had struck Neptune, creating a vast mass of incandescence. For 2 hours before dawn, the great white star shone across the world, fading only as it sank westward and the sun rose above it. Sailors at sea, who had heard nothing of its coming, saw it rise like a small moon and climb overhead before sinking westward with the night. The next night, people crowded on hills, rooftops, and open spaces to see the rising of the new star. It was brighter and larger than before, causing scientists to say, "It is nearer." The news spread quickly, and people everywhere wondered what this meant. Some feared the worst, while others dismissed it as a mere comet or a false alarm. But as the star grew larger and brighter each night, it became clear that something extraordinary was happening. The master mathematician, a wise and dedicated scientist, spent days calculating the star's path. On the 5th day, he finished his work and looked out at the star with a determined gaze. "You may kill me," he said, "but I can hold you and all the universe in the grip of this little brain." That day, he told his students, "Circumstances beyond my control will prevent me from completing our course. Man has lived in vain." His words puzzled the students, but they listened as he explained his calculations. The star continued to approach, causing great changes on Earth. The frost in Europe began to thaw, and rivers overflowed. Earthquakes shook the land, and the seas rose higher than ever before. The heat grew intense, melting ice and snow, causing floods and destruction. As the star neared its closest point to Earth, it became clear that it would miss our planet but pass very close. The master mathematician had predicted earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and a rise in temperature, and his predictions were coming true. For a moment, it seemed the world would be destroyed. But then, the moon came between the star and the Earth, casting a shadow and giving people a moment of relief. The star and the sun rose together, creating a single glare of flame in the sky. Finally, the star began to recede, moving away from Earth and towards the sun. The clouds gathered, and a great rain fell, cooling the land and washing away the debris. The Earth was left scarred, but alive. In the end, the star passed, and people began to rebuild their lives. The world had changed, with warmer climates and new landscapes. Far away on Mars, astronomers watched and marveled at the events, noting how small the vastest of human catastrophes seemed from a distance. And so, the tale of the star that came and passed into history, leaving behind a changed world and a lesson in the vastness of the universe. The end.